I'm calling the meeting of the Vader City Council to order at 6, is that 01? 01. Okay, 6:01 on August the 8th, 2019. Can we have the city clerk do the roll call?
Randy Hall, he will be absent. He has a doctor's appointment and couldn't make it back on time, so he's excused. Jason Daly.
Here.
Joe Shy.
Here.
Mike Parsons.
Here.
Leona Sander Hunter. She did not call in, so does the council say she's unexcused?
I'll make a motion that Leona Sander Hunter be unexcused.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. And Lois Wilson.
Thank you.
Should we vote on the motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
we need to vote on the motion, is right. Okay, I make a motion that,
Motion's already been made.
Jason
Yeah.
made the motion.
okay. The motion,
Just call a vote.
call a vote. How many want to approve the motion?
Aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion passed. Okay. We need a pledge of allegiance. How about you, Joe?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We also need the minutes approved, which we just did.
Nope.
No, we did.
Mayor report.
Huh?
Your turn.
Okay. I wanted to approve the mayor, the city council meeting.
Well, you need to, we're on mayor's report. Your
Oh,
report.
it's my turn.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's your turn.
It's
I
your
didn't
turn.
know I got
I'm
to
sorry.
go so fast. This is good.
Very quick.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say that Ed Packard's back home, and minus a toe, and I went by to visit, and there was also I wanted to ask about the classes for that federal grant. And like I said, I wanted to give her a little report, just that we went and everybody picked 2 items, and mine was the transportation, and the other thing was funding from different foundations, that give money for different things. And then I guess we hit quite a few different things there, and it was really an eye-opener, and I think we all got lots of papers from that. Anyway, the next thing is the
Council reports.
Oh yeah, you guys have to say something. Council report. Anybody got something to report?
I do. I hope everybody had a chance to come down to the garage sale this week. I know that we had one down at the storage units, and there was a lot of traffic. It was very successful for us. Got rid of a bunch of stuff. So I really hope that the rest of the town did well too. But also, this is the time of year when we have a lot of new kittens and cats in the neighborhood. So I know there are some people around that are looking for new homes for kittens and for domesticated cats. Maybe not so tame, some of them. So if anybody's interested, please get a hold of me at the restaurant or personally. So.
And we also deal with the Cats Meow, and they take in cats and do adoption.
Okay.
And they help you,
Right.
the city
And they
also
help
will
with
help
the,
you fix them.
That's what I'm.
So there aren't any kittens.
I'm going to deal with that too myself on a whole herd of them that I already got. So
Okay,
Yeah.
well, if you need the number, just let me know. I'll
Okay.
give it to you.
Anyway, there's a whole bunch.
So a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, the next is the agenda approval for the agenda for 8/8/2019, and it was in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda, meeting agenda for 8/8/2019.
Is there another, shall I ask for a vote?
We need a second now.
Oh, we need a second, okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, anyway, so that's been seconded and. now-
Bye.
Oh, yes, Jason.
Who was the first to buy?
Mike,
Okay.
I got it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's been approved.
Well,
Now we need a vote.
Oh, now we need
look
to.
at your
Oh, that's
piece of
right, I gotta
paper.
go here. Make a motion to approve the agenda has been submitted by Jason, and do we have a second?
No, it was submitted by Mike,
Oh, Mike,
and Jason seconded it, and now we're on the next line.
the motion that's
All
been.
those in favor?
Oh, yeah, all those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
those opposed. Motion's been passed. Okay,
Now we're on the minutes. one.
yeah, now we're on the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the city council meeting minutes for July 25th, 2019.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
The motion has been seconded by Jason. Is there any council discussion? No, there's no council discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion is passed. Do we have a motion to approve the vouchers?
I'll approve the vouchers for the first half of August 2019 in the amount of $22,368.46.
Okay, the vouchers have been approved by Joe. And do we have a second?
I'll second that.
And the motion has been seconded by Mike. Is there any council discussion? There's no discussion. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? They've passed. The motion is passed. The special reports. We have a report on the July law enforcement from the Sheriff's Department.
Good evening, Kevin Engelbertson with the Lewis County Sheriff's Office. So for July of 2019, for our activity, looks like we had around 548 citizen contacts. We had 7 calls while we were scheduled to work shifts, so we were on duty in Vader. We had 22 calls that we responded to while we were off shifts, so we had a total of 29 calls in July, which I would say is definitely higher than the average months. We had 21 traffic stops that we made, 2 infractions, 2 arrests while we were on shift, and then 2 arrests made on the other calls while we were off shift. So a little bit higher than average, but I think that's expected when it's July and we have people out and about and summertime. So I didn't hear of anything that happened with STP. I talked to the guys that worked down here during that time, and they said things were pretty smooth. They contacted a lot of bicyclers, they said. So nothing of major noteworthiness to report. So, any questions or anything?
Looks like we slid through that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The first item of business is for council to discuss the home occupation language. Council Parson is heading up that topic.
Did you guys have a chance to go over that anymore this last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as I was reading it, I realized I think I doubled it. That it repeated itself in there. But it's just for the basics.
The,
What part?
What's that?
What part did you have?
which is-
On this, I think I was reading it and then it said the same stuff again. But this is just an idea to send to the attorney to get it written up right.
Really, the thing that you're looking for is signage and off-street parking. Is that the?
Those were the two things that I
That's
didn't.
what we got kind of hung up on is how many
I
cars you
see.
can have at your house and how big your sign can be.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
where it can be on your property kind of thing.
Yep.
Not you specifically, but
Yep.
in general.
Yeah.
So,
So obviously we don't want any neon flashing lights.
right. And I remember in the past we talked about it having to be against the house, no bigger than like
I think
You
it was
know,
500.
a certain 2x3 or 3x5 or something size or. So I remember the topic. We went over it many times. So.
So is this at a point where we have it sent off to have something written up?
Looking pretty inclusive to me.
I mean, this is off of, I forget what county it was.
I
Yeah.
think you could decide on what size sign that you're going to
And how
allow.
many, I think one of the things that we talked about was how many parking spaces you can have in front of your house at a time. I mean, your neighbor don't
I
want to
thought
have a
it
parking
said
lot.
4.
and
I mean, you
that
could
Yeah.
kind of thing, so.
make that decision now and always say, oh, we changed our mind. We want different verbiage,
Yeah.
especially since you're just discussing it and deciding what you want to send to the attorney.
I think off-street, I know that talking with somebody downtown, they wanted 8. Is that, or you might know that better. In the regular commercial zone, they want 8 parking spaces per business.
I'm on the opposite side of the tracks, so
Oh.
we're different.
We won't hold that against you.
So I don't know what the down.
I think it was 8
Was looking at.
is what I heard.
I'm in a,
I don't
I'm
know.
in kind of a
I haven't
grandfathered in
heard.
situation, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
8 parking spots in front of each business, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm,
That's
that's
what-
what
I mean,
I
that's-
believe I heard. And so,
That would be like in the downtown, like city.
Yeah.
district,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
But as far as like the cottages for like.
the cottages, I'd say 3 or 4. Most people have a driveway that can hold 3
Right, 'cause
cars.
we don't have city streets that can take parking because they're this wide. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
They're barely single lane roads.
Uh-huh.
So those stipulations would have to be in place because I mean no one's going to want to have double parked in the road or anything like that. You know. So
Yep.
just to have signage and number 7 and number 8, they're pretty vague. I mean, I think that's where kind of the hang up was.
Yeah.
So.
So I say we throw out like a 4 off-street, 3 or 4 off-street parking spots.
Well, it depend. I think it depend on. I mean, each residence is different. You know, some folks could handle more than others.
Well, they could, but they have to have at least. So they could
You
have
could say-
more.
You
Like-
would say at least 3.
Yeah, at least 3, because you could park 6 people in your parking.
In front of my house?
4 people, right? You can double your cars in.
In front of my house?
Yeah, can't you? I don't know.
Not my car.
No.
No? Okay.
Go on.
You can tell from my
No,
driveway
I-
that we can hold quite a few
I mean,
cars.
I don't see like.
Yeah, it's my son.
I wasn't gonna bring up your
really,
driveway.
like, having an inflow, like that big of a flow of needing parking spaces. Mine is on-street parking, so
Yep.
I probably wouldn't try to put more than 2 vehicles in my driveway at a time. That's for sure.
If we said something like
But-
up to 4 or
But yeah, up to 4 would be something, not like at least 3 or
Well,
something like that.
I think what they're trying to do with this is not have a lot of people parking on the street. So if you
Right.
right, so if you say up to, because even the businesses down here, they have to have at least 8 parking spots, if that's the correct number. So all of them are always, you have to have at least this amount.
So what I understand with the with this cottage occupation stuff is that they're coming in to get your wares, not coming in to shop your shop. Not you again, but anybody, they're coming, they know what they're gonna come and get, they're not gonna spend a whole lot of time there. So, it's always been kind of a traffic flow situation that people are worried about, so I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with anybody, so, but, that's what I understood it was, so, but yeah, like Joe was saying, at least 4, up to 4, but you can't do I wouldn't limit them at,
You wanted to make a remark?
Yeah, I really don't know much about this because I haven't been paying attention to this. But it seems like it's all you're skirting around the zoning, by off-street parking and a 18,000-pound vehicle and a building and getting business in on your property. To me, is you're skirting the zoning. That's what we have commercial zoning for. If you want to have a business and you go rent a place uptown or build a place.
Yeah, the problem, so this all started because the problem with the commercial area is there's not a lot of it. Most of the buildings in the commercial area are being used as residents, so a business can't come in and have a business there because they're being occupied as residents there, which they should be either upstairs or in the back, I believe is the way it is supposed to be. And we're looking to try to create revenue for the city.
And revenue for other people too.
And revenue
There's a
for
person selling honey,
Streets,
but she has,
deliveries,
Right.
going back
So-
and forth on residential streets. I don't agree with it, so.
and the 18, we don't have any zoning on commercial vehicles right now because we just don't, we took all that down,
Thank you.
Yeah.
so. But there's been people that have honey businesses and doily businesses and artists and stuff like that.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce, yeah.
Where's
I
Doug?
just want to have, instead of going and setting up at a farmer's market every week or 3 times a week to sell their wares, they're looking to actually have people to call in and say, yeah, you can come over at this hour and come get some stuff from my house, instead of trying to catch me at a farmer's market. That's kind of what, I'm not saying that there's going to be just a whole bunch of people coming around town because of it, but it's going to allow people to further their revenue and their businesses.
And part of doing that makes people more aware that you are licensed and you're legal and you're collecting sales tax, and a piece of that sales tax comes to us so that we can
Make wider streets.
make wider streets or whatever. And so the best way to get out of the predicaments that we're in is generate more revenue.
So no, I don't think this is ready yet, as this is saying, because it's just too vague. But it's getting there.
Diane?
I think it probably depends on what kind of business. I'm still licensed. I own a beauty salon in Missouri. So I was thinking about doing that in my home. I can only do one customer at a time.
Right.
Cut their hair, do their nails. Okay, so nobody would even know the customer's there. It just looks like somebody's visiting me. So I think it kind of depends on what kind of business it is. The other thing I'm looking in is working on my computer. Nobody would even know I'm self-employed, working on my computer, nobody's driving in the driveway. So I think it kind of depends on what business. You guys are talking as if they're retail and would want a lot of customers coming in at the same time buying their wares, but there's all kinds of businesses that wouldn't even occupy the street or parking,
Right.
you know?
This is just to cover
Those that would.
those that, I mean, because you open it up for, without having stipulations on there, and there's always gonna be that one person that just pours a parking lot in their front yard and
Yeah.
lines it out for, you know, so you gotta have something not to,
To keep it residential.
right,
Because it does need to stay residential, but there's a lot of people that can do stuff out of their homes, and we just want to make sure that they can do this. I mean,
it's hard to be a mail-based system, or a mail-based, you know,
Where you have
mail
to-
order kind of a place. It's just
Yeah.
tough, it's just hard, so this is just another option that we're trying to open up for the people, so.
Since you're still talking about businesses, I'm hoping that that dollar store comes here. We really need it. And so that's kind of, is there property next to the post office? Who owns that? I mean, where would the dollar store be in that main?
No, it
That's
was
a- that's a
down, it
big
was down in the
building.
county, on the other end of
It's
town, across the
down.
bridge down there.
Oh,
And I'm not sure if that's still
The
being,
signs are down.
the signs are down and the for sale sign's back out, so I don't know if that's
Dad,
You didn't go
still.
through.
It might have
Might
stopped.
not be enough customer base to support it.
Well, I also talked to, I know we're off subject, but I also talked to somebody that worked at Dollar General on the East Coast, and they were looking for a place kind of like near Winlock, so maybe that was what they were going on, and didn't work out. I don't know. We'll see. It hasn't come to us,
Well,
so-
it is in the county,
but that's in
so
the
the
county.
city wouldn't get any revenue from that, on taxes.
So Mike, what are you looking
But we
for
would
tonight
get
then? Are you looking
more
for?
traffic.
my main thing is
Yes.
getting the topic
We'll
back
get
up
more
and
Get
going.
more traffic.
Could the annex into
Yeah.
the city and
Uh,
get
that's
It's
what
in the
we're
urban
doing.
growth. It's in
just
the-
out there?
I would love that.
It's
It's in the urban
been out
growth.
of sync here.
It's in the urban growth, so it's,
Same with them
yeah.
So Mike, do you need anything else
Okay.
for us tonight, or do we need to can we bring this back up next meeting so we can, with our ideas for these two items? Is that what we do, what we're doing?
That would be fun. I just want to keep the ball rolling on
Okay.
it.
That's good. And
Okay.
that's number 7 and number 8. The next time.
Okay, we'll get those ideas next week.
Yeah.
And, the next thing is, number 2, the resolution 14, 2019, change city hall office hours.
I have a question. From 12 to 1, there's still gonna be someone at the phone? Okay, so,
That is me.
but phone is, it just says closed from 12 to 1, so.
I assume, now, maybe we need to verify with Jill, but I will be here from 12 to 1.
And you can't open the door, but we
Right.
asked her to make sure that you were able to answer the phone. And
Okay.
it's just not on here. so
I
was
didn't get
just
to listen to
verifying.
the
Okay,
last
good.
meeting, so, and I didn't really read the
So-
minutes.
If you
Whoops.
could just put in here, that 12 to 1, there is phone, like,
Oh,
you could, I mean, because it's just, it's gotta be in there, otherwise it'll be not done.
chaos.
and you need to talk.
Yeah. So with that change, I move to approve Resolution 14, 2019, changing the city office hours from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of every week, excluding legal holidays from 9 to 3. The office will be closed from 12 to 1, but the phone will be answered at that time.
Okay. That's resolution 14, 2019. And there's been a motion. And
Aye.
Aye. Oh, huh.
By,
Oh, by Jason.
and what's next, Mark? Do we,
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. And it's been,
then there's any discussion?
any more discussion on it? No. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion's passed. The third item for business is to add, and that one is 1904, and it is to consider the permanently disabled residents to the low-income sewer rates. Do we have a motion for that ordinance?
I move to approve ordinance 2019-04, adopting the schedule relating to charges for sanitary sewer services, repealing ordinance 2019-01, and adding language to allow permanently disabled residents to qualify for the reduced sewer rate as written.
Yes. That's number 3, right? Yeah. Anyway, a motion to approve the ordinance has been submitted by Mike. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Jason, seconded. All those in favor?
Is there any discussion?
Is there any other discussion?
Oh,
The motion has been seconded by Jason. And is there any council discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is passed. Item 4, to discuss the language for updating the animal regulation to allow pigs as pets in the city limits. What does council think of the example of the language provided? Did you guys look at that?
I'm fine with people having pigs as pets. Like it says in here, you know, the spirit of the original ordinance from 20 years ago was, you know, the nuisance associated with outdoor pigs, right, as livestock, where you've got manure and all that other things. If you keep them as pets, I would hope that they're taken care of as
Just like
pets.
dogs, yeah.
Right. So I think that's reasonable.
And that is a motion.
But I do believe, I don't know where the wording is that we're trying to word, is that we need to figure out how many pigs people can have as a pet at a time. And I think 1 per household is great.
One pig.
Yeah,
One pig.
one
It
pig.
says they need friends.
Huh?
It says
Well,
if
get
you
a
quarrel
goat.
with another pig, you should at least do 2 pigs.
Two pigs.
Well, in Chehalis, on their livestock thing, they only allow 1 potbelly pig with a combined maximum of like dogs and cats and everything to make 5 or something. So
This
nobody's
pig
allowed.
has kids.
From what I'm noticing is nobody's really allowing.
Real kids.
If they're going to put this down, is more than 1. So I think for all intents and purposes, I can't really see more than 1 pig on a city lot in the city. So I'm going with 1 pig. I think that they need to be, you know, it's funny. I think they need to be registered like a dog through our licensing stuff. And just like a dog, if they're a nuisance to your neighbor, it has the same detrimental things as dogs.
And
So-
she gets this one, goes to the vet.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah,
gets
they're pets. So
shots and
I think we're all
this and that.
understanding that, but we just need to
come up with verbiage,
come up
what
with
you
the
want
right
to
amount.
say.
Same expectation.
That's my thought. If you
Well,
guys
you
want
made
more than
4
1
girls
pig,
happy tonight.
let me know.
They love that.
I know
We
that,
got a question in the audience too.
Oh, okay.
It's about animals. I was afraid to say anything because I know this is not a big city, so you don't have a leash law. But what do you
We do.
We do have a
We do
leash
have
law.
a
You do?
Mhm.
Okay. What about dogs who like to go and poop on other people's yards? I'm tired of cleaning it up, and I know it's not deer poop.
Good neighbors. talk to good,
Yeah.
other good neighbors.
They got the
Hang
thing like
some
that.
bags
Hang
out
some bags out,
Yeah.
right in front of your yard.
doggy bags. They catch
I
them.
don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's what they hang some bags of what kind?
Doggy bags.
Just a roll of
Doggy
doggy bags.
Oh, for your
Yeah,
neighbors to use
they're,
them. If they're not going
They
to,
might get the idea that
I guess you could put some on their porch or something, but I don't know. That's probably not good.
Listen now,
Oh, I believe this belongs to you.
so the ordinance
Okay,
that
I'm sorry.
for the pig as a pet, that would be one pig?
I'm for one
He's
pig.
suggesting
I'm
one
for
pig.
licensing like a dog, and
I know
How
that,
about verbiage for fixed or not fixed? A lot of them say they have to be fixed.
Well,
If you read
the
through.
chance
Really?
of that pig.
Yeah.
One pig, what do you gotta worry about?
Yeah, gets loose, who knows?
there's more than one people that have
You
kids.
just,
there's so much to think about.
Hopefully that's beyond the scope of this meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, beyond the scope. I'm not with that.
so,
That's the only things that I've thought about over the last couple of weeks is how to keep it kind of at regulation stuff.
it does sound good.
So
It should
those are
work.
my ideas. If anybody has any extra.
I know
ones
that some people brought up last time about A Street,
Oh, being like the core and it shouldn't be
the
there.
core in that area.
Yeah.
And
think
I don't-
that's
I hate to actually see a lot of residents in that area anyway.
I know, I wish
Yeah,
we
but-
could get.
Unless they're up-
stores back.
But
I'm not going to make a square in the middle of town where certain animals are not required.
a pig free zone.
We are, sorry, we are
Yeah.
still a very
That sign by the
country
church
city,
sign.
and even the very city people have potbelly pigs in their backyards. So be a good neighbor. If you don't like pigs, don't look in people's backyards that have them. So,
So if you look at some of these other cities' ordinances, a lot of them are talking about size regulations, right?
Yes.
So that your animal doesn't get
This is
beyond 22 inches tall at the shoulder and things like that. So it looks like there are some additional considerations with pigs that we might not have just by classifying them as dogs.
right, they probably need to be classified as like when you register them, like for dogs, we have to say, I got a lab, or I got a Shih Tzu, or I got a Beagle,
right,
or
it
whatever.
would be similar.
So
They talk
about
she
it.
knows exactly what kind of pig she has, what is
What's
mixed
it-
with.
Yeah.
Most people do, just like a dog. I know mine's a lab. Calling mix. Actually, I really don't know the other one.
That pot-bellied pigs, African pygmy pigs, you
Right.
know,
Castle Rock
how
on
big
here.
of a pig are you, because
Yeah.
pigs get big.
It just
This
can't be a
one's full
farm
grown, but
animal pig, I guess. I mean,
It says Castle Rock accepts, unless they're a nuisance.
right, and I think
So,
that's
and
part
I
of it.
think
You know,
that's-
dogs are nuisances, and we have that in
And
the dog
Toledo
laws,
has
too.
pigs as
You
a
can complain about your
conditional
barking
use
neighbor's dog.
permit. So you have to get a permit to have your pig. But
Yes,
you can have a pig.
and that
If you
allows
meet the conditions.
And that allows the city to know how many pigs there are.
Yes.
If one gets out, to know whose pig it is, because it's got the little collar dog chip on it, I don't know. And then the Vader guy, John, can go round up the pig and take it back to where it goes. I guess,
Yeah, because we record a license number
Right.
to the owner, so we
Right.
would, as you well know,
yeah,
we would be able to place the pig.
right.
Take him home.
So I mean, those are my only things. I don't know what names of potbelly pigs breeds there are, so you got me on that one.
So we, now that we've discussed this, and it sounds like got pretty much, so it'll be next next council when it's approved?
Well,
Or
to get
can
the
we do it?
verbiage,
Yeah.
we'll have to send it to the right person,
Right.
get it all verbed right,
Okay.
and bring it back to us. It might not be the next one,
But
but it's,
soon.
How extensive should we, like, we're looking at
That's
somewhat
what
different
Joe's
cities.
looking for.
right.
How extensive you
I
want
don't
to
think
be,
we
what
need to
you
go
want.
around and like measure the height of a pig.
Well, everyone talks about, every city talks about that. Every one of them.
Really?
Yeah, they're all saying 22 inches the shoulder. Snohomish talks about that. Vancouver talks about that. Walla Walla talks about it. They're all concerned with that, with the size. It looks like 22 inches is the,
But you can have a huge dog.
but 150 pounds and 22 inches. That's a,
According to Info Resource, Pigs Forever, gifts, supplies, and resources
Oh.
for pot-bellied pigs.
Sorry.
The average full-grown pot-bellied pig is anywhere from 16 to 26 inches tall at their shoulders.
Okay, so
16
I just wanted to know. Thank you, Google.
Well, cut his toenails down and he'll be thin and shorter.
You know, I just,
I think
Deal with it.
I think if we mimic Vancouver's regulations, it's a good, it's
It
a,
seemed good.
it's a good halfway point between what some cities do.
See, and I'm kind of thinking if we just go with not being a nuisance,
That's what the
I mean,
city next.
yeah,
to
you
us
can have a
did.
potbelly pig as long as it's not a nuisance. If it becomes a nuisance, then
just like a dog.
yeah,
You're
just
gonna
like,
find a new home for it.
yep. And I think that would keep it simple, easy,
Right.
just add, but I've only won a 5.
Well, this most simplest is what Snohomish has as option, and they just right on the bottom they just have that small print down there.
How about the fee? What are you gonna charge for the fee?
Dog feet.
Dog fees, I would just do like the license fee, right?
Everybody I've ever heard to says, they're like my dog.
They don't bark and they don't bite.
You'll like Snohomish too. They say only one.
Yeah.
They also say only one.
But all the ones that I looked at say one.
The very bottom line.
One.
On the small print, all the way at the very, very bottom, the very last line.
No more than one.
This is what she gave me to,
Okay.
so, which is pretty much the towns of Toledo, Winlock, and Castle Rock.
So it looks like a lot of places are adding it to their, like their dog list. Like you can have up to 3 dogs. So like Shayla's is, you can have 3 dogs, 4 cats, and one potbelly pig, but only with a combined maximum of 5. Right? So are we going to count the potbelly pig as one of our dogs?
They don't have a dog.
You know what I
Of one.
mean? Because people
They got a
they're-
pig.
we can get on and on and on, right? So I think we should just add this to our dog stuff because we've already got like a limit on dogs, and add 1 potbelly pig to a household, registered like a pet here at the city hall. And
Sounds good. We got a pet dog.
I like that.
too.
And we're specifying potbelly pig.
And we're
not-
Yeah.
specifying a potbelly pig that lives in the house. That's very specific with all these places. Lives in the house, sleeps in the house, has its own place in the house kind of thing. It's not a yard ornament all the time. So.
Sounds great. We got that?
Okay.
This
Okay.
one- Okay. Now we go on to number 5, the gravel road scraper equipment purchase. And I assume you guys read that. Jill was talking to me about the finances. And I guess did you read hers? Okay.
So I don't know if we need to ask Jill this, but did she look at the parks fund too? Because this is going to be used a lot for
The park.
McMurphy Park. McMurphy? Yeah, the one out there. Because that
I think
whole
she
thing
was, she
can
was
be-
talking about the funds and that it comes in a few months.
Yeah.
What she's waiting for to get some money, because she's afraid to have it go so low, you know, if she takes it out.
Quite honestly, I don't know what we've spent out of the park fund, and it's August.
Well, it'll have to
I don't
be,
know.
I mean, have we gotten gravel? Have we gotten any playground equipment? Have we gotten anything gone on in the park since all year? So we should have some park fund money.
Well, we can ask.
yeah, she may have been an oversight that she didn't
Yeah.
think that we could use part of the park
I
budget
didn't
for
even
it.
think about it until I read this, and I'm
Right.
like, wait, that's another gravel road that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the park fund separated like the sewer fund is, or is the park fund still in the general fund?
It's in the general fund.
Oh, okay. So then maybe she didn't. Maybe she did see it if she was looking at the general fund.
In any case, she's only recommending we wait a couple months. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
she said it'd only be a couple months
It's like
until
2-3 meetings.
the money comes in.
So
yeah,
let's make sure to put this on
for the
the
next,
November.
October. Well, she says October, November.
yeah.
So if we put it on October, the first meeting in October, that way we can get it, which will be good because I don't think anybody wants him tearing up the roads as dusty as it is right now. We want to wait until it.
But I
we
think
get
in the
it.
past we've always used the bucket on the tractor to, like, you know, scrape some of the roads, and that just beats it up.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
that-
we can get some of these gravel roads paved here sometime soon, and we don't gotta do all this all the time.
Yeah, maybe I could write a grant.
You can get those home-based businesses in
Oh,
and
man.
allocate that money
Right.
to asphalting the roads, paving the roads.
I know, it's just, it's a process.
Okay, I have the
Right.
invitation, she has it on here, so she'll know to add it.
Next, 5, gravel road, we're gonna wait 2 months, right?
Yes.
Okay. And regarding number 6 is development regulation update to allow park host.
I think it needs to happen.
It does.
I know the park board's long-term plan is to include 3 or 4 spots for some overnight
Dry camp stuff.
down there.
RVing.
And so, so in the long run, we're going to need this anyway. So, should
Yep.
start
And
the
in the
process.
short term, you should see all the stuff that goes on down
Yeah.
there. It's kind of crazy.
So-
I like mowed along the street on the way down there, and there's just beer cans everywhere. I mean, they're going to the park. So just to have someone down there, and I really, really hope that we get someone that's like tough looking. Hey, Mike, you want to sit down there?
Put your man cave down.
Anyway, you know what I mean.
The town.
But yeah, it is something that we need to change as far as so we can actually do it and do it legally. But
The town I was raised in, Vernonia, they have it used to be for the mill, and it's a big pond, you know, where the trucks would come and the logs would float, and then they'd go up a thing and into the mill. And my husband and I had a logging company, and so they took drag buckets from us to clean it all out and got it all really nice. And then the Fish and Game came and planted fish, and they did the same thing. They got an older guy, and he's lived down there now for, I bet he's been down there 16 years. And he's the one who straightens the kids out, and you know, and he also is real nice. He gives them candy. And,
Yeah, sometimes it just takes someone being there
Yeah,
to keep people honest.
put a bathroom
Right.
in.
So are
but
we,
they also have to like be able to
Yeah,
approach people that are doing wrong things and be taken seriously.
yeah.
So
Like no.
right, maybe even shortage, wordage on it. So we ask them.
Yes, go ahead.
With the cameras, I think that we should build cameras.
Oh, Everybody
nights
loves
year
those.
round, and you can set them up to where anybody can look at the park.
You just can't get down there fast enough to save its little life sometimes.
It's on video so far as a vehicle or people doing something. That
It's
doesn't
just
mean
what
that
we-
he's gonna be up there sleeping or taking a nap and something's gonna happen down there.
What I think we found out in the past and in looking at something like this is that the personal presence does a lot more than a camera does. I mean, yeah, people, they know they're being looked at or something, but just to
They
have
usually shoot 'em.
someone, they gotta drive by this person that, you know, even if they're there taking a nap. I don't know.
And where will
And
they
not to-
stay? Where
It's a dry
will
camp.
they stay? Will they take
Yeah.
up one of the much,
Where are they gonna
there's
be?
only so many?
It'd be up
No.
on top.
And so you think somebody's gonna come in with a beautiful mobile home and stay up there? It's gonna be somebody that,
It's,
No,
it's,
that's not,
it's a security person that wants to dry camp.
There's actually a lot of people,
and they can
Dry
tell you.
camp, dry camp.
dry
Where are
camp,
they gonna go to the bathroom and shower and?
in their RVs.
and pull it out when
It's-
they're
Where
leaving
they
and
get
go
the
dump
water?
it
They're
and.
gonna
Yeah.
take 5 gallons and fill their.
No. So most RVs have, like mine, my camper on the back of my trucks has 150 gallons of water, and it has 100 gallon
But
of,
then you gotta move it and dump.
and then you take it right up to
Okay.
Castle Rock and dump it.
We
So that's
have
dry
it down
camping. You can
here.
park anywhere and not have the water or the sewer hooked up.
And
But
we
this
have
person-
power.
And my concern is does the people in Vader know about this? I think we need a workshop. You guys need to get the public involved in your decision making here. You're representing the people.
We allow people to come in here every week, so that.
Well, I'm sorry, then send out a newsletter and let them know about it.
We do every month, every 2 months. There's a new
This,
one.
this won't
You
be,
just started it though. I mean, it isn't like.
this won't be the approval tonight. There will have to be,
They're just
Did
discussing
you get
this.
this, Bob?
Hmm?
Did you get this piece of paper? It just says that we can start this process at any time and we can stop it at any time. So, I just didn't know if you got that.
No, I didn't.
and there will have to be public hearings for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have public hearings over it too, so.
And
That's
there is.
my concern.
Yeah,
And it's
Point
not
Like I said,
just,
we're just, it's something that takes like a long time to get
Say,
it right and up.
Spend the money on the attorney.
and this is also not just a person that's going to sit there and just security. From what I'm been told by the park board and so on and so forth, they're looking at somebody that maybe can mow,
He's mowing
that can
and-
clean up the garbage, that can do security, that they just maintain that whole area, which then frees John up to do something else around town, because he says he spends a whole day
I
mowing
would
down
kind of
there.
like, I'd like to make a motion that we actually start the process to change the wording, because.
Don't need a motion,
We don't
just
need a
need you
motion.
to say, just, you need to
Authorize staff to have language
authorize
written
Jill
on
to
it.
go ahead.
I'll give my paper away.
Authorize Jill to go ahead.
Yeah.
But everybody just agrees to go ahead.
I agree.
How many yeas?
Okay, that's basically what this is,
Okay.
is asking the council if they want to go forward. And like Jason said, if all of a sudden you decide maybe this is the wrong road, you can change your mind.
On that same note, on that park, I thought a few years back, if we were ever able to find a company that was willing to develop it
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be something?
and do an RV park down there, they come in, they set it all up, and then they have a 5 or even a 10-year, I don't know what the numbers would be, contract where they keep the revenue from it to get it back, and then it turns back over to the city.
We're way off base here.
Yeah.
I'd rather not talk any more about that and just move on.
Okay.
That's your call.
Yeah, this is it. It means that public comment, which I had. Anybody else got more public comment?
He'll talk about pigs all night long, but don't talk about RVs.
Don't talk about the park.
There are no one signed up for public comment.
Okay. Elected official comment.
No, I already pooed
Everybody's
mine.
already done their comment.
I just want to remind everybody to help their neighbors. It's summertime, there's a lot going on, everybody's got extra mowing, extra help that can be done. There's a lot of seniors in town, so do what you can to help your neighbor. And
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
thank you for mowing our lawn, Jason.
Oh, see, the cameras do come in handy.
That's why I wanted to give you all those apples. You know, maybe it's mine.
Okay.
There is, I don't know if anybody has noticed, but there is another brand new house going on Park and F Street.
yeah, they had to run a whole bunch of new cable for it, didn't they?
I have no idea.
So
Is
I
that what
think I
that
heard.
cable stuff is for?
Oh, no. That was on 10th Street.
Mm-hmm.
Comcast, is it Comcast or CenturyLink? Upgraded their lines on 10th Street, tore
The
everything up.
meeting is adjourned if there's nothing else. Is
Hit
there
the
anything
gavel.
else? At 10 till 7.